Hi, little ones. How are you today? Thank you for joining me, and I'm so glad you took this time. Maybe it's quiet time around the house, and you'd like to just kind of settle down and listen to a good story. Today, however, I have a special guest, and our stories are going to be from our lives together as little kids growing up in a little house with a bunch of family all around. I hope you enjoy it. This is my younger brother, Timmy. He's visiting me, and we're having so much fun together. I hope you enjoy our little family stories. Many years ago, when Timmy and I were both out of the house, however, I came up with an idea to write a family cookbook, and we had so much fun doing it. One of the things we did with the book was to gather stories from family members. Our family consisted of a whole bunch of kids. We had 7 altogether. Mom was a busy mom. Timmy, being my younger brother, had almost a 10-year span between us. He was so sweet, and he still is.
Hi, this is Uncle Timmy again, and these are some of my favorite mom food memories. Our family used to go up to Dexter Park, which was just up above the house from us, in a little canyon. And it was kind of like oak trees, and it was fun. And I remember we had different picnic tables, and all the kids were there, and grandkids, and cousins, and nephews, and nieces, and it was a big bunch. And people would bring all kinds of different potato salad and watermelon and hot dogs and hamburgers. And the whole family would go up there and just have this big time. Every Easter, we would have an Easter egg hunt and all the stuff to go along with the picnic. We'd always have ham and potato salad, barbecue, beans and corn on the cob, rolls and trimmings. I remember running up into the hills of the park and chasing the squirrels and looking for lizards. I always remember having ice cold watermelon and lots of it. I loved watermelon. The smell of the burgers and the hot dogs always made me feel as if I were on vacation. Everyone in the family was there. I will always remember Brother Bill when he would make fruit salad. So Dexter Park holds a lot of great memories for me, and the food was always center of attention. The one thing that I always remember being at the picnics and the events was Mom's deep dish apple pie. Oh my gosh, it was the greatest. And when she would do the baking, she would always make me her little jam tarts. And I would sneak one. Actually, she left them out for me. I know she did, but I thought I was taking it away by secret. I would take them up into this tree that was outside on the little patio we had, and I'd climb up into that little tree on the back patio and look out at the big world and eat my little jam tart and think to myself that life couldn't get any better than the very moment I was in my little tree in Pacoima.
So as you hear Timmy and my memories, you can see what a fun-filled time we had. We had a lot of kids. I don't know how mom and dad did it. How do you think your family gets by trying to take care of all the responsibilities that a parent has? But I will tell you, we didn't have a lot of material things, but we had a lot of love, and we had a lot of fun things we did together. I hope you can do that with your family and come back someday and have made some notes once in a while. A journal would be a good idea, and write down your memories or things that you did that day that were fun. And be sure and let all those little memories that you have come out and flow out on paper, so you will never ever forget what life is really all about and make sure that you share that with your family.
As I was reading through our family book that Grandma Bonnie created for everybody here, I saw a little story about what she remembered, and I'm looking at a picture right now of there were two big Christmas trees when I was growing up in the front yard of our little house in Pacoima. As children, my nephews and my brothers would all climb these Christmas trees, and they were very tall. I would say like 30 or 40 feet tall. And what I would do as a kid is climb that Christmas tree just like my older brothers did, and it was fun. But sometimes it got hard to come down. And so we named the limbs on this big Christmas tree fire escapes. And we pretended we were firemen, and then we would wrap our legs around these big branches, and they were skinny, and we could slide down them to the next branch. And I'll tell you, on the way down, it was ouchy. And we got down at the bottom, and we were sore for a couple of days, but we loved it, and we kept doing it over and over. But we had to wait a little while between. But I'll never forget the fun laughter that came out of that tree, like yee-ha-ha, and ouch, 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 yee-ha-ha, ouch, ouch, ouch. And that was fun.
Oh, I remember those trees. Those trees, we slept under them when we'd have a sleep out in the summertime. We'd put blankets or, you know, anything we could, old mattresses under the trees and hide under them. But we could just see the world going on around us, but felt very safe. But we did have a good time under those trees and with those trees. So I hope someday that you can share memories with your brothers or sisters or friends or family members like we share. If you are a writer at all, if you make little journey notes, maybe someday you'll put them together like we did and make a little book out of it. And we came from a very small community called Pacoima, California. Many of you know that that is in the San Fernando Valley. It used to be a place where you could go picking oranges up the street, and they had vineyards across the street. So we were one of the original families that kind of settled there in Pacoima. And if you go back today, the house my dad had built, the 900 square foot house, is still there. And a big family must live in it because there's lots of cars always around. We kind of miss our little community, but every one of the family has gone on, and Timmy and I are the last of the children. It is so funny to hear some of those stories that Timmy tells me. We have done nothing this weekend but laugh about stories and hear all kinds of heartfelt things that happened. I wonder if you share stories with your brothers and sisters. This little book we wrote and published is valuable to us now. It's like a family Bible. Do you have a family Bible? If you do, maybe you can tuck little notes right in the pages just to add to part of the Bible. It's your family, and it's always going to be your family. When we lived in the place we lived, it was many, many years ago, we learned to ride bikes on a dirt road full of rocks. I have never had so many injuries on my knees as a little girl riding on my bicycle and getting my knees all scraped up. That was an experience that probably Many of you know, but you don't ride on an old dirt road with rocks. Nowadays, it's much easier with better bikes, and I'll bet you your bikes even have brakes, because mine didn't. I thought you were supposed to use your feet to stop the bike. What would I know? I was just a little girl with skinned up knees. It was fun to grow up in those times, but it also could have been dangerous on that old road. Have you learned to ride a bike yet? If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to tune in to Adventures with Grandma Bonnie. See you next time.